So whereabouts are you in Argentina, Macca?
In BA. It's actually quite pleasant.
So sorry, what's the time there?
8:30.
About 8:30ish, 9 o'clock.
And what are you up to tonight?
Going to La Cabrera, my favourite steakhouse. It's unbelievable. Booked in, ready to go. There at 9:30. So, tell you ho.
All right, let's start. Roll the titles. Right, welcome to the TAB Sports Cafe. You all right?
Yeah. Yeah, good now.
Okay. Everyone's here except Marc. Marc is coming to us live from Buenos Aires in Argentina.
Yes.
Buenas noches.
Sí.
Why do you say it like that?
Argentina.
Argentina.
Why?
Argentina.
Why do you say it with
that's
With the lip.
Why?
Lisp.
That's
I don't know.
How do you say it correctly?
Argentina.
Right.
I mean, I call it Argentina, but it's Argentina, I suppose. I don't know. I'm not too sure. Pass.
So you've been in Buenos Aires for a few days now.
Yeah. Over here collecting my daughter.
You enjoying yourself?
Loving it. It's been full protein. Just meat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Empanadas for breakfast. Oh,
That's a healthy diet. That's good for you.
Is it?
Protein.
yeah, more seizure and steak, and lots of walking. So it's been cool.
How's the what's the word? You know, the poos, I suppose. You know, you're doing a full meat diet. How's the
body processing?
how's the body processing that? Your end or the other end?
No, all according to plan.
It's all
thus
going
far.
good? Okay. Because you can get...
We don't need to know.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Some
important. Sort of throwing me a little bit, that comment, actually, to be honest.
What, the fact it's going all right?
Well, that's why they made chimichurri sauce. That's what's that for. That's what that's for.
Is that the help?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's good to know.
And olive
Don't
oil.
quote me on it. Olive oil, yeah.
Okay, good. Let's go somewhere else quickly. So you were talking about new sports the other day, Macca, things that are exciting. I found wingsuit racing. Let's have a quick look at it.
Oh, see, I would definitely give this a go.
Yeah.
I'd be quite happy to give this a go.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah, first time in Africa, actually. First time in Africa, in Kenya, obviously, and what an amazing location, no? And why not is, for sure, why not? And then it's like such a beautiful place like this, such a special location. We really want to jump here, no?
You reckon you'd give that a go?
They do have a parachute at the end.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever managed to land without just purely on the...
They did, but they didn't survive. But
Yeah, that's. I would be happy to give that a go.
would you?
Yes.
Because you've always been a bit of an adventure seeker. You've done all those things.
I've done quite a bit of skydiving,
Yeah.
so that's kind of just the next. I've never done base jumping. Is the only thing that I wouldn't do. I wasn't comfortable doing base jumping.
What's different about that? That's just as base jumping and that are both just as
Not
terrifying.
really. You come off and you're just really reliant on the thermal straight off the mountain face. So you've got a lot more.
You jump out of a helicopter with a wingsuit.
Yeah, much more fun. That looked
Would
awesome.
you, Macca? Could you?
Yeah, I think I might. But the cliff jumping is a dangerous thing because you
Yeah,
can
too
get sucked
dangerous.
into the cliff.
You get blown back into
You
it,
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like of all the things
Yeah.
I did, that was the one thing that I was just like, I went down there and I was like, I'm not comfortable.
Would you jump out of a plane with a wingsuit, Macca?
Yeah, can you organise it?
Oh, 100% will try and organise that.
Yeah, it's just a matter of, you've got a parachute, right? So it's just
Yeah.
a matter of knowing when to pull that. You don't get sort of mucked up and thinking you are actually flying when you're actually still dropping at about...
You definitely know when the ground's coming towards
And how
you.
important? How important is?
Pull up.
How important is weight? Like if you're I'm just saying, if you're a bigger, heavier man, that's.
It's normally a weight restriction with you when you're skydiving.
But I suppose you've got more surface area, haven't you? If you're a heavier set person.
Oh, with your suit, you mean?
They'll probably check that before you even go on the chopper. The chopper might have a weight limit.
Yeah.
Well, they throw cars out of the back of Hercules, so I'm pretty sure they can make a parachute that'll be big enough for whomever.
Right. I'm not sort of not mentioning any names. I'm just inquiring. Just.
So that you don't have to do it, or you would like to do it. Would you do it, Rick? Would you
No.
do something like that?
No, I wouldn't even do it.
You would?
I wouldn't.
You'd give it a go?
No.
If it was a team building,
I'd push you all out if it was a team building thing, but I wouldn't do it.
You'd give it a go.
I would never do it.
Once we got up there, you would.
No,
You'd just.
when I say,
I think statistically you got more chance of dying in the plane,
Yes,
the plane
then you would be
crashing
jumping
whilst it's
out.
taking you up or taking you down, or taking
More
you
chance of the
taking you down
helicopter.
if you don't do it,
More chance the
than
helicopter
actually
falling on
once
you.
you're out the door.
you've been trying to tell a story for the last 10 minutes. What is it?
No, I just saw today, if you think about new sports, I thought this was incredible. There was a guy who was, in a street market, and he was one of the performers, and he got these guys to hold up ropes about, that much above your head, like a string, and he came down and he said, I'm going to jump over it. And I was going, oh, watch this, right? It's on a cobblestone street. This is going to be an absolute disaster. And he came tearing down. He did a somersault and then twanged off his feet and went over it. It was magnificent.
Was he like an ex-gymnast?
Yeah. But why wouldn't you have that at the Olympics instead of the high jump?
Yeah.
What, somersaulting over things.
They flip, and then they somersault. What's a jump? It's just not technically.
Yeah, just get over that bar no matter how you do it. Just do it.
Yeah, get over the bar.
Whatever technique works.
Mate, I tell you what, this was mesmerising to watch it. I mean, sure, we were looking for the risk factor, but he cleared a height that would have been, it would have been Olympic. It was 2.2 metres. That's an Olympic record. And it was amazing to watch,
Yeah.
Yeah.
rather than these tall, gangly, Flosbury floppers.
Yeah.
I reckon steroid Olympics, you include that as well.
Yeah, there actually are the enhanced Olympics. They are an actual thing. Something that you were calling for years is now a real thing.
It's going to happen.
It is happening.
Well, who are you going to watch? You're going to watch, the guy run 10.5 or 9.8 for 100 metres, or the guy who does it in 8.5 seconds and then explodes like a fly on the windscreen.
Because sausage.
I'm watching
It
that.
goes over the finish
Head
line.
blows up. And you finish.
His heart just combusts. as it
That'd be
goes.
amazing.
Now, just to get an insight into how you think, I ask you each week to send me in some clips from your Instagrams and stuff like this.
I can't wait.
This is an insight into your brain, Macca. This is what you think is funny.
Is it?
Well, should we grab one and throw it in? We'll run off.
It's a great dad moment. He's just freaking his daughter out.
That's clever.
And then he gets it out and
Is that the
genius.
seagull making that noise? Or?
It's the daughter in the back.
Watch out!
And then he lets the seagull go out of the window, and then he drops his daughter off at therapy.
It's like a cheap KFC. You just buy the chips and grab the bird yourself.
And just chuck it in the hot vat.
Just chips, thanks. I'm sorted. I'll get the rest.
I'll get my own bird.
DIY.
Dirty bird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, now this is something that Lana sent this week. This is an insight into the way that she thinks. This is what she thinks is funny. Oh, and then he gets run over.
Well done, isn't it?
There's some
Yeah.
people that really, clearly have too much time on their hands.
Yeah, it's good to see someone use their imagination instead of relying on technology.
Yeah.
I can't see this, Rick, but and you know how there's a podcast, a lot of people listen to it and they don't see it. That's a pretty shit segment.
You're seeing it from the other perspective now.
Well, man, I can't see it. I've just got Rick saying, "And there's a guy on a bridge pretending to play computer games, and he's been run over." I mean, if this is, this is shit TV. Really, it is.
Well, now you're experiencing it from the view of someone listening to it.
We're falling between the gap of a shit podcast and a shit TV program. It's not one or the other.
Man, I can't actually turn the fucking thing off. That's the problem. I'm stuck
Well, the
in
good
it.
news is you'll be able to tune in on Wednesday
Well,
night.
actually, the good news is that we're going to do an extended version. So we're actually going to change it for the podcast. So if you're listening to an extended version of what we're doing. So you've got more shit to listen to.
Jeez. Wow,
The
talk
good
it up.
news is on Wednesday night I'll be flying. I've got
Flying,
to
you're
get
stuck
another
on a
beer. This is
plane.
that bad.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Yeah.
Can you come back?
To get a beer, mate. I can't do this sober.
Well, while you're gone, and you can't see this anyway, so it's irrelevant, so you can do whatever you like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an absolute shambles.
What do you want from me?
Enthusiasm,
Do you want a
but
little
tone
bit
and
more
voice.
energy?
Be more
Paint a
descriptive.
picture with words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, how am I going to
come
paint a
on.
picture of this? So far, you've sent me in cats on the diving board,
Which you thought were real.
Yeah.
which we all thought were real. Then we went to other animals on a diving
The
board.
farm on a dino. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Upgrade it.
Yeah.
so we decided, like I've been sent in dinosaurs on diving boards, all sorts of animals.
By the general public or
Yeah,
by
the
Leigh?
general public.
Right.
And by Leigh. Like I get it, we can create animals on diving boards. That's fantastic. This is something that's quite different. This is a dog weightlifting at the Olympics.
What sort of dog?
It's
You
a sort of a
statistics, come on.
husky-looking thing.
What sort of dog?
It's a husky dog at the Olympics weightlifting. So
Is a husky built for it? Shouldn't it be a bulldog?
Well, no, you're quite a good anatomy. Are you creating these yourself, or are you finding them?
I'm certainly not creating them.
I'm just wondering how much do you?
I wasn't even
spare time
finding that. Rick found that and attributed to me. That's fine.
Yeah.
It looks good.
we're just running a theme.
Was it good enough? I mean, what would you give it, Leigh, out of 10? I mean, is it something that you'd go, shit, I tell you what, that's funny. I'm going to show my mate that.
It's sort of one of those things that's been done to death now as well.
That was the joke.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're watching stuff that other people saw last year on the internet.
We're trying to catch up.
It's been recycled. So
All right. Like
3
how
million
about this
views.
one? This is something that with artificial intelligence changing the world, and it's amazing the difference it's going to make to everything we do. This is great technology that we use to do this.
Yep.
But they're both fake.
It's artificial
But
intelligence.
it's not as funny when you know they're both fake. Because I've seen situations where you do see a baby and a dog or a cat having interaction, and there's something endearing about that. As soon as you know it's AI,
Kills it.
it kills it.
Well, how do you know that was AI?
And have you not noticed how much it's increased? Like every week it just gets more and more and more.
Yeah.
All right. This one's real. This is cats wrestling UFC style.
Is he going to deliver? Sweet. Oh, Claymore kick from Roman Reigns. Oh, KO by Orton. Watch it again. And out by Oh, my God. You gotta be kidding me.
That's you see what I mean though? That's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, because they're real. It's good that someone's laid that.
See, that's a lot more creative in my opinion.
Is he going to deliver? Sweet. Oh, Claymore kick. Where the hell you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah. Well, there you go. It's interesting.
It does beg the question a wee bit, doesn't it, Leigh? The world has evolved, and there are a number of techniques and ways to overcome challenge. In China, for instance, the one-child policy obviously meant that there were a lot more males to carry on the family line than females. As a net result, there's a massive market that's been created in the cyber flesh.
Oh yeah.
So you can basically go in and you can buy a rubber wife
Yeah.
and have a relationship with her. The AI aspect of it, I think, means that the interactions are going to be a bit more legit and real.
Yep.
But
Where are you going with this, mate?
Yeah.
You like
Well, people are starting OnlyFans sites now with people that don't actually exist.
right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And making money out of that. Sort of prostitution in a way with AI technology.
Right. What sort of sites are you guys looking at?
No, that's just I've read about it.
Yeah.
in 50 years' time, if you could have a robot that was very friendly and didn't chew your head off.
Probably be good for you, Marc. It wouldn't
Yeah.
be, maybe not for everyone, but potentially.
Want a bagel?
Oh, well, Lana may want that.
Oh,
Sorry, mate. DoorDash has arrived.
Yeah, there is one for you, Lana. They're making male ones as well. I mean,
No, I've decided that with Macca not being here, I can be more generous.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, this AI stuff. I mean, you can get really go down the hole with it, can't you?
well, not with a male model that's going to be my sex partner. No, I haven't really fallen into that hole. I'm not sure if that's just a guy thing or.
No,
I think you'd be mad not to.
this is something we've recreated in AI. This is Leigh talking to the Lions about 20 years ago.
Well, here we are live at one of the Lions press conference. It's pandemonium, as you can see. Everyone's getting very excited about the press conference. It's really big. You guys want to shut the up?
Great experience for us all. It comes around every 4 years. It's something that I think all of us aspire to be involved in. So it's just good to be involved.
Excuse me for a moment. We're just going to cut live to the Beehive. Thanks, fellas. Thanks for your time, and good luck with the rest of the tour. Thanks.
The public seem to enjoy us being here, and everyone gets right behind the teams that are playing, and obviously there's a lot of British and Irish Lions supporters here. So these tours have got to continue, for the good of the rugby.
Oh, excuse me, just a sec. Hold on, just hold down. No worries.
Smart buyers want a vehicle that offers more than just good looks.
Sponsors, you'd understand, professional.
Excuse me, is Clive with a K or with a C? C. Okay. Woodfield.
Enjoy each other's companies. They still enjoy the odd beer, perhaps not as many as their predecessors used to, but they're certainly, they're a good bunch of guys.
Okay, we've got some classic footage coming up now. Footage I'm sure you'll remember. Talk us through this.
So you want me to talk about this now? It's pretty slow motion, this stuff, by the way.
Have we got any footage? Sorry, we don't actually have any footage there, but sorry, that's unprofessional on the part of the team up there. But good luck for the rest of the tour, and hopefully bump into you again. Good luck.
Cheers,
thank you. That's pretty much it, Bill. Thank you.
Is that it?
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
it. Thank you.
All right, then.
Okay, no, I'll go. You stay there. You were there first.
I'll go.
Okay,
All right,
no.
all right.
How do I introduce you, Conrad? What do I describe you as?
What do you want? What do you...
All right, now joining us, former All Black legend and sort of New Plymouth resident and World Rugby Players Association guy, and also referee for the Classics, Conrad Smith.
Referee. That's exciting.
How was that?
How about you?
Nailed
It's a
it.
great
Nailed
introduction.
it. Thanks, Rick. Brilliant. Covered it all.
Can we ask you first of all what you thought of the Test match?
Right. Straight into it. Yeah. I enjoyed it. I thought, obviously there were parts you could criticise, but I actually thought in terms of the first test, really good, some good rugby played, some tries scored, some of which were disallowed, but I thought, especially the way the game started with a little bit conservative with a bit of kicking, but then it opened up and I really enjoyed it.
Conrad, Leigh Hart here, Sports Cafe. How's it, mate? Good to see you again.
Yeah, good.
That's good action with your hand in it.
It's good, isn't it? You got to do
I
it.
thought you want to go to the tour.
Hey, you're reffing, as you had this Classics game. Can I talk about reffing with the All Black game? TMOs, is it wrecking the game? I mean, the calls, okay, they might have been right here and there, but are they going about it the wrong way?
I think you're spot on. There's a balance there. I think they should be interjecting. This is a personal view when it's clear and obvious, and I know that's wording that is used in some protocols around TMO, so it's slightly different between what we've seen in Super Rugby and what you see at International Rugby, and I think the balance is tipped the wrong way. Again, just a personal view and World Rugby. So, though, as you say, those calls were right. But I don't think they were things that were clear and obvious. People wouldn't have even noticed them. So the TMO's actually gone in, forensically pulled that out. Yeah. They just leave that alone, which is what they've done at Super Rugby level, and I thought it's worked really well.
As a lawyer, you're going to be pretty hard to trip up. Not that we're trying to do that, but at the same stage, we're going to therefore get quite a succinct and clear answer like you just gave. But I'm on the ref thing too, Leigh. 23 minutes of action. 125 rules, all fastidiously ruled over, by some guy, and then a Hitler moustache wearing chap in the, in the bunker watching it. Have we got it wrong? Old players looking at it go, the game's really, really hard to watch. New players, probably the Players Association involved in now, probably don't care because that's all they know. But is the game starting to get, a little bit used by?
Yeah, I think that's probably a fair criticism. I just think there is a balance there, and I think what you've seen in Super Rugby has been a good example where they have brought that back a little bit. And so I think if you get the balance right, it can still be good rugby. Obviously, particularly at a professional level, you want to get all the calls right. But if you're focusing on, as I said before, the clear and obvious, then you can still get that flow of play. If there's a critical call, you want to zero in on it, absolutely. But a lot of these things that we're talking about, I think you can let them go. If a referee sees it, he calls it. If it's something blatantly obvious, you come back for it. But otherwise,
but it's never blatantly obvious. I mean, it can be interpreted one of 5 ways. Every line out there could be a penalty. Every collapse maul, every ruck, there can be a penalty, and that you can argue it either way. I mean, if you're
especially when you go
Springbok
back 10
supporter and all this,
phases to do it, the try is scored,
Yeah.
check your grounding, that's fair enough. But going back 10 phases, the ref said it was
you
okay.
opened yourself up when you said you're reffing, mate. We're just we're unloaded years of hate here.
Yeah.
But
I'm
not
doing
at you.
schoolboy level.
You're going to cop it from every rugby referee we're in. You wouldn't believe it. I was sitting next to Angus, the guy who did the
Angus Gardner.
Yeah, I reckon he's one of the good refs. He lets the game roll a wee bit. Although
very good referee.
England thumped Argentina.
No, they're all valid points. And I tell you, I've refereed. I've got no aspirations to referee a high level, but purely because of that. Like, I'm interested in the game, and I'm actually, having played it, wanted to see what it was like as a referee, and it taught me a lot. Like, I totally appreciate what the referee's doing, which I think I always did, but also seeing it from their perspective and actually knowing what they go through and some of just the differences of how you have to approach the game. It's been, for me, I've really enjoyed it, and I think it's something more people should do. But it's definitely not an easy role.
Can I bring it back to rugby? Something controversial for me, Macca. No, I'm just thinking. It really annoys the hell out of me. And you guys played, so what's your opinion? The mark, right? It seems like it's a bygone era thing that was done for safety back in the 50s or something. Some guy getting crushed by 10 forwards, getting rucked. Is there any need for it now? Surely you're putting a kick up to put pressure on the guy. And they're taking it and, it's slowing it down even more.
Well, I'd go one further. I reckon you can actually. Why can't you hit the guy when he's in the air?
Yeah,
because people get hurt badly, Macca.
Well, they've changed that law now. You can't hit him in the air, so why have the mark? It's safe now. They've got all the time in the world.
Can I give you a proper answer here? Were you interested?
Well, no, you're not the one we're asking.
Also, the mark, when it goes right back, you could actually take a shot at goal from a mark, a drop kick. So it was actually a scoring tactic back in the old days. No, you could take a mark anywhere on the field. You could actually take a mark. You could actually take a mark from a forward pass. So it's like what?
That's what we're talking about, Rick. We've got to take rugby back to those days. I think it'd have a chance of being bloody watchable if we did.
Yeah,
there'd be lots of marks if you could do that.
Can we ask
Don Clark? You see why he got so many points?
Yeah, well, Ian Clark, his brother, scored a drop kick from a mark. I'm sure. Anyway, tell me about the classics, Conrad. Let's help me out of this hole we dug.
Yeah, the classics. I'm refereeing, so we're going to take Marc's approach, and I'm just going to let everything go.
Excellent.
And,
you'll be safe. You'll be able to walk the streets.
My goal is to blow the whistle as least times as possible, and I'm going for a record of maybe. Well, obviously, to start the game and to finish the game, there'll be a couple, half time.
You should wear blinkers like a horse. Wear blinkers so you can only see what's in front of you. Nothing left or right.
Would you have a TMO?
So the touch judges don't get involved.
Yeah. And a lot of us, well, you can't see, we're important, but mate, arms in the air, play on. Jouer, as they say in French.
Play on.
Just for people that don't know, the Classics is an amazing team. I mean, it's a whole lot of broken down All Blacks and rugby players who are just getting together and still having a good time. It's sort of really old school. I mean, what's drawn you to the Classics?
Yeah, I never thought, to be honest, when I finished playing, I thought there's no way you'll drag me back to something like this. But they played a game in Madrid about 2 or 3 years after I'd stopped playing, and I was up in France at the time, so I thought, why not? It wasn't far away, and first experience I played, absolutely loved it. We had about 30,000 in Madrid, still their biggest game, and they actually thought it was the All
Wow.
Blacks playing, but it was a whole bunch of washed up All Blacks. But we played the Spanish team, and then since then I've, as I say, took the whistle just so I could stay involved because there's the on-field experience, but just getting a group of players back, it's something you do miss, and Marc will testify to this. But when you leave the game, you find other jobs, you find other things to do, but there's nothing that really replaces that experience of being a rugby player. And so this gives it, a little reminder of what life was like. And it's players you played with, but often it's guys you played against or in slightly different areas, but you all share the love of rugby, and that's what you do for a week. So it's a great experience and something they'll still continuing.
How's your body holding up? I mean, you're obviously reffing at your age now. Would you go back and have a game now if you were offered the opportunity, or you just think reffing's your super skill this year?
Good question.
Yeah, the body's all right. I don't think I'd handle a game of tackle rugby too well, but I keep myself active, so the lungs would be okay. And in honesty, I got out of rugby pretty good considering. I can run around. I spend a lot of time on the bike and lycra, doing a bit of that to keep myself fit. But it's
Rick spends a lot of time in lycra too, but not on the bike. Just walking around the apartment.
Just in general, yeah.
You do. I'll send you some photos.
He shares them a lot on Facebook.
Yeah. What about you, Macca? When you stopped playing, did you ever get called back to any sort of festival games or anything?
No. But I was wondering, what about bringing back rucking, Conrad? I think, the forwards are just sort of fanning out. And when back in the day when I was playing, probably not so much yourself.
Yeah, I was in the crossover, I think.
Yeah, you look for a forward in the back line, you go, great, I'll run around him. Now you look at a forward in the back line, you pass the bloody thing as quick as you can, I would have thought. But how do we suck the forwards back? And I say bring back rucking. And if you're going forward on your knees, I don't care. However you go forward, crawling, whatever it is, the team going forward gets the ball. And that way you suck the 8 in and get some room for the backs. Amen.
I like it. Again, I will not be penalising rucking in the Classics game. So if you
rucking in the air.
Brilliant. And tackles in the air.
Tackles in the air, I might draw the line. Just thinking of what can actually result.
Can you clarify for me, the Classics 1 team, who are they playing, or the Classics 2 teams playing each other?
No, the Classics have got a game against Pacific Legends coming up at Eden Park, I think on the 18th, and then they're playing down in Wanganui, which is, I think that's the game you're refereeing. Is that right, Conrad?
That's correct. Yeah, I would have loved to do both, but they've got the 2 games this year, so that's sort of just invitational games, Lana, that get organised each year, and this year there's
nice.
A couple on.
And the founder.
But open for the general public, right? Can people come along and watch?
Yeah, hell yeah, buy tickets. Yeah. And they're playing in Wanganui because the founder of the Classics was the great Andy Hayden.
Yes, of course.
And Wanganui is where he's from.
Perfect.
It's his birthplace, so it's it's going to be a huge event, and just to clarify that Conrad is not in charge of changing the rules of rugby. Like I just wanted to clarify
you could be. This could be your opportunity.
Yeah, and can I also clarify that Macca, you're a lot tougher now than when you played the game. Like you're calling for a lot more big hits, tackles, rucking, and these are all things that weren't really part of your game.
No, I avoided it at all costs, but I loved the skullduggery, and that's why I love props. They were basically, you were their jester, and they were your protector. It's sort of like a sitcom, so you need the bullies and let them bully.
And having the forwards sucked up into,
yeah,
leaving the back some space.
I mean, how if you're a prop, do you get rid of that sort of desire to, physically dominate and hurt, I mean, sure, you can butt heads at a scrum, but it's the dark arts. It's what happened when you're at the bottom of a ruck when Richard Lowe tripped over and accidentally drove 3 fingers into Greg Cooper's eyes. I mean, that's magic stuff.
And just for people that don't understand, Macca, because I can't believe you're representing old school, but did rucking hurt? Like, did you get injured from rucking?
You wouldn't stay in a ruck when you've been ruck. I still remember getting tagged. Isn't that what we called it, Marc? You got tagged and you'd come out and you have brutal.
Not pleasant.
No.
Well, when we were in Otago, we had a team that was unknown, right? And there were 13 All Blacks in the Auckland side, and that's when the Carisbrook House of Pain name came up. With like Laurie Main said, "Well, how are we going to beat them?" And somebody said, "Oh, we should kick the shit out of them." And then Laurie's catch cry was, "Go for the bony parts. It causes more damage, right?" So the boys would show the ref a pair of rugby boots with the normal round studs, and then go to their actual ones, which had the Leigh 22 mil studs, which were really, really sharp, and so they could do more damage. And all we got told was, if you're on the bottom of a ruck against Auckland, don't squeal. And thankfully, I had Steve Houghton who'd jump on top of me, and I could feel the kicks going through him. But if the Aucklanders squealed, it gave our guys a bit of a charge, and there were one or two squealers in that Auckland side. Let's be fair.
And my point, though, is that, like, although it hurt and you got tag marks and stuff like that from rucking, it's a lot more dangerous trying to get a turnover where you're isolated and someone's cleaning you out. That's where you're going to get really hurt. Rucking, you didn't get hurt quite as much, did you? It's just with the cuts and blood.
I don't know. Andrew Roos put a 22 mil up a guy's ring once, and that was it's like a sow biting an electric
fond
fence.
memories.
The sound, you'll never forget it.
All right, and just a Conrad question, like on the email, obviously connecting, it was snake this, snake that. Just to tell everyone where you got that nickname from.
Oh, it was actually nothing to do with rugby. It was a cricket coach, Ali Jordan. He was actually a famous New Zealand bowler that coached me when I was a kid. Thought I ran like a snake in the field fielding, and for some reason it stuck. But that was it. It was actually, but it followed me everywhere.
A lot of nicknames with cricketers. We've got a guy called Wombat who we gave him that nickname when he was playing cricket.
Why?
Because he runs like a wombat, Rick.
Yeah, but how do you, like?
Aren't you listening?
I am, but I don't know straight away how a wombat runs.
Or Google it.
Okay. What was your cricket nickname, Marc?
Arsehole?
No. I don't think I did. Really?
Sure you did. Come on. You just feel like
It's
you
for those
you know
that
of.
you averted that really bit of deflection.
Ungainly gait, really, you know. I mean, Conrad was a wily sort of a slinky runner. I'd have called you Slinky. He was definitely a slinky runner, wasn't he? So I can understand where that came from.
So what I'm amazed about, we've got Macca over in Argentina, Conrad and New Plymouth.
Yeah.
Us here, 10 years ago, if you said you could have this technology, would you still think you'd be making a show this shit? With all that. You wouldn't think that, would you?
No, we've got all this technology and we're still able to keep that low sort of base of delivery.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
10 years from
standards
now, I wonder what
are
it'll be like.
minimal.
10 years from now, we'll have like holograms and we'll have artificial intelligence and all these things, and it'll be still shit.
Yeah, you can AI us. We won't need to be here.
No. All right then, Snake, we'll let you go. Appreciate all your time and
good luck.
Yeah.
The way you're going to ref that game, you'll be allowed in the club rooms afterwards. You'll be okay.
Yeah, and
you'll
everyone go and watch.
okay.
If you're gonna have a referee like that, that's a game to watch. Go and watch the classics.
Get the blinkers and a patch.
Yeah.
Amen.
You can't see where he's going at all. 2 patches and blinkers. All right, mate.
Oh,
take it easy.
Brilliant. A pleasure. Go the
Thanks,
classic.
mate.
10-4.
Good on you, pal.
Thank
You get
you.
a whistle with nothing in it. It just makes no noise,
Yeah, no pee.
I'll take the pee out.
Yeah, take the pee out of the whistle.
Yeah, it looks constructive, but doesn't really do anything.
Hey, Mac, I seen you couldn't make it. We've got a special guest in today. Paul from the TAB's here.
Oh, g'day, Paulie.
G'day, Macca. How are you?
There he is, Uncle Paulie. Perfect, mate. Good.
Good.
No complaints. Lots of complaints yesterday, though, about from the Argentines about the Poms getting over them so handsomely. There'd have been big odds on that, I'd imagine.
There were. I guess seeing as most of the English were, their best players were part of the Lions team, so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, by that winning margin, that would have been, if you backed that, you'd have come home well and truly.
Not too many did, so, yeah, wasn't the worst.
What about the All Blacks, France? How did that go for you?
Well, we always cheer for the All Blacks at the TAB, obviously, but this time we could cheer for them financially as well. I think they opened up at around 16 or 17-point favourites at the beginning of last week. The amount of money we took on them at the point start forced them out to 21.5-point favourites by the time we got to kick-off.
But 13 and over would have been a big thing for you as well, though.
Exactly. So the All Blacks winning 12 and under was a very nice result.
See, I don't think people understood that the French have got a lot of good rugby players. And if you took, say, a New Zealand team and took the top All Blacks out and just put the next 30 players in there, those guys would play out of their skin. And that's exactly what the French did,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I never saw it as a 30-point thrashing. But in saying that, if all those TMO calls had gone the right way, there's another 21 points. There's not really a question.
We're talking about referees there.
Yeah.
So they'd be 13 and under again this week, wouldn't they? I mean, I reckon the French grow another leg after that result. You know, they get a bit of confidence in themselves.
We've got the early odds up for the second test, so the All Blacks are 16.5-point favourites again. They're $1.16 to win the match. The French are out at $5. I'm going to tell you, they were very, very popular in the first test, the French. $8 they got out to win that match, and boy, they weren't that far away.
No.
Can you start betting on things like disallowed tries? I mean, it's a bit negative, but you know what I mean? I mean, it's there.
Well, if you could, mate, you'd bloody bet on one every week, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Well, how many though? You know, there's 2 disallowed tries, or, you know.
Because there was, across all the international games this weekend, there was lots of disallowed tries and TMO interruptions.
The poor Fijians.
Yeah, robbed.
When you're calculating any of your odds, is there any calculation with who is going to be reffing the game? Does that come into?
There's not too much. There'd be a slight, if it was a very studious Northern Hemisphere referee, there might be a slight leaning one way.
Yeah.
But
Lower scoring kind of thing, or?
Possibly, or lots of penalties.
What about the State of Origin? How do you see that? Like coming down to a decider?
Yeah, game 3, big game 3.
Very excited, aren't you?
100%. This is huge. Well, it's all on. One each in the series. Queensland are out at $3 at the moment. They're 8.5-point underdogs. But if you look at that New South Wales team and their back 3, the likes of Brian To'o, Zach Lomax, Dylan Edwards, that's a whole heap of power that they've got there. And I can understand why the early money is coming for New South Wales to win game 3.
Imagine the State of Origin, you know, that on the last tackle, they, you know, it's a try-scoring situation, they stick a kick up, as they do.
Marc.
And the guy takes a mark.
Yeah.
You know, on the last, and they start again, like they do in rugby. What a load of shit. They don't do marks in league, get rid of it.
So
I
reckon getting rid of Marc should be...
not Marc.
No, I'm saying that should be the theme of our show.
Ban the mark from rugby.
I'm happy to go.
No, ban the mark.
Happy to go.
Ban the mark.
You know, to give you an idea how long this show's been going, you know, Sean Marks is now the CEO of the Brooklyn Nets, you know, incredible. We've had a great performance by the under-19s in basketball, the New Zealand team. So basketball's on a real high. We did this show just as Sean Marks had been drafted to the NBA.
To the studio, you had to duck quite considerably to get under the door there. Do you ever have trouble after a few beers?
Occasionally, but I'm pretty much used to it now. You know, I'm used to the ducking, so.
Another tall question. Do you notice dust in people's houses where they don't?
Yep, I'd be lying if I said I didn't, so yeah, no.
Who are you actually playing for over there?
Toronto Raptors. They're the team that just drafted me.
You know, when the roller coaster rides and you're too, like, when I was younger, was too short to go on. You had to be over, you know.
You're all right now, though, aren't you?
Luckily, yeah. And do you ever get in trouble with being like too large for the rides? Because they go pretty close to some of those overhangs, don't they?
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, I can't sit next to anyone on the rides. I'll have to have the two-seater by myself so I can put my knees that way. So,
distinct lack of romance when you've got the girlfriend with you, eh?
Yeah.
I'm sure he makes up for it in other ways. Any just advice? I mean, there's probably a lot of young people that are playing.
Just a little ball to the head. Nothing much has changed.
You would have missed that as well, Marc, that footage.
Yeah, it was good
footage. I was waiting for Rick to talk me through it. Who would be your greatest basketballer of all time that you would like to have on as a guest? I'd say Wilt Chamberlain.
Jordan.
Yeah, we're Jordan. I've met Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt the Silk.
Yeah, we met him in a nightclub in Vancouver, 1989, and
wow,
and the All Blacks, Matthew Ridge's first tour actually, and we walked into this nightclub and there was this massive guy, and we were like, far out, you're big, you know, like, and he's like, yeah, I play basketball. I said, oh, cool, are you any good? He's like, oh, you know, I've retired now, but I'm not. You know, I had my day. I was pretty good. It's like, oh, what's your name? It's like, oh, my name's Wilt Chamberlain. So, far out.
Is he still alive?
Well, apparently he was better off court than on.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, have a few stories.
Made some prolific claims in Time magazine, which is a relatively reputable publication.
Yeah. What were those claims, Marc?
Well, I worked it out. And since the age of puberty, for the claims to be accurate, which let's say Wilt Chamberlain, puberty for him would have been around about the same time as you, Rick, about 8. He would have had to sleep with basically 10 women a week until he died in order to have amassed what he claimed in Time magazine to have been his tally, which was, I believe, 20,000 women.
I didn't ask him about that.
No, well, you didn't know that. You do now. If you meet him again, give it a nudge.
Right. Would you have asked him that if you met him?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Well, I'd have asked him, is it, I mean, Time magazine. Time magazine obviously asked it, and if they, thought it to be true, then they would have published it. But quite an astronomical assertion, isn't it?
Yes, to really bring the energy down a little bit of the show, isn't it?
Oh, wow. It's interesting. It is. Magic Johnson was much the same as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, and it didn't go out too well for Magic Johnson.
Oh,
Well, he had a Magic Johnson.
He did.
Do the crime, you do the time.
Yeah. Talking of legends, this week's legend actually was something that you sent in, Macca, which is
Tom Selleck.
No, is this lady?
Murray Mexted.
When everyone gets frustrated by their kids on the phone, this is a way of dealing with it.
There needs to be some rules and regulations. That's a good way of.
Yeah, there's got to be consequences.
Yeah, my mum did that to me with the landline back in the day, Remember the old landline at home?
Yeah.
Taped it to your head?
Yeah.
Did you?
Stuck by the phone first. Yeah.
Do you reckon that was staged, or do you reckon it was real?
Staged.
Staged, eh?
Staged, completely.
Yeah. Staged.
Like 99% of the internet's staged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is real.
This is, 100%. I can attest to that.
This being real.
This is real.
Yeah, and often the stage stuff's really funny, and then the real stuff's shit.
Yeah. It's
and you attest to that as well?
I do indeed. Yeah. It's like being on an episode of Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, being at your place, Rick. This is really nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Now, we did have to blindfold you before you came here, and then we'll blindfold you when you leave, so I don't want to see you here again. Okay?
Yeah. I don't know how, You'll see me again.
And no one's actually commented on your appearance. Like Marc, he's immaculately dressed. He's got a nice, the haircut's really bedding in well. Are you happy with Paul's appearance?
I think he looks stunning, Rick.
Actually, Paul, just going back to the TAB, I'm not sure if we actually, the State of Origin, the final, what's the odds there? What's the New South Wales paying?
New South Wales are at around $1.40 and Queensland are $3. And the promotion team have put a little same game multi-promo together for State of Origin punters. Just place a 3 or more leg same game multi. And if you miss by 1 leg, get your money back up to $50 in bonus cash.
Can you clarify for me that you did actually tell us the odds for the New South Wales and Queensland Day?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Yeah, I just needed to hear it.
You wanted to hear it again?
Might have changed in that time.
Where's it being played?
Sydney.
In Sydney.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so you're in Buenos Aires next week, Macca?
Italy.
Right.
Hard life. It is the life of the rich and famous. You should be following him, not Rick.
Yeah.
That would be my suggestion.
Gee, I'll put it to the those. Yeah.
Would you like Paul to come over and spend the next couple of weeks travelling around Europe with you, Macca?
Can you give us some odds on that?
I'm just seeing my daughters.
Well, Paul can come along and he can carry your bags and stuff.
Don't be ridiculous.
He's keen.
I don't think this is going to make it, is it?
No. Right, so far this show is a 3-minute show,
I mean, you didn't give me a half chance with the latex angel they make in China. I mean, the reality is that's a massive market. We could have had a lot of fun with that, but no, we're all too prim and proper these days.
Oh, the show's not over yet, mate.
I'll tell you what, we'll leave you to have a little bit of fun with the latex angel and we'll go to the titles, eh?
I saw it. There's a thing called Latex Angel, and it's like a documentary, and it's absolutely sick. Well, not sick. It's sad, but it's fucking funny. You got to watch it. But don't quote me on this. This is inappropriate.
This is all going in. All the stuff you want in is coming out.
So do you order these things online, Macca?
Stop talking about it.
Well, no, good question. See, now we've got some enthusiasm for the topic. I mean, look, it's not something I'm invested in, or I just find it absolutely absurd and peculiar. And, one of those evolutions of AI that it's turning into replicating humanity.
Stop now. Stop.
And
And
it's got a
you
market.
get a cheap version on Temu, like a cheaper version of it. Like it comes
$3.
It's all kind of.
Be here on Friday.
Stop talking. Just Can we just stop now? See if the
He's talking to you guys. It's for men. It's not for women. So
I
he
don't
wants you guys to engage. I don't need to engage. I'm sorted. Apparently, there's a plethora of men out there. I'm going to be sorted forever.
Lana, imagine
Lazy
a husband, he'll come home, he cooks the dinner, he welcomes you every time with a cherry smile. He's gone out and bought you flowers. There's a lot of people who don't have that, and that's why this market, I think, has some promise and potential.
We've stopped doing the show like about 25 minutes ago. So can we just...
I could have one of each.
Can we stop talking to each other?
Yeah, absolutely. And
Upgrade.
look, hey, in today's day and age, why wouldn't you?